Today on the Garden Fix, Kristen and I will be putting in a few plants around the yard, so stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to the Garden Fix. I'm Rob, and I'm in Zone 6B, Western Pennsylvania. So today, it is a beautiful spring day, and all of the plants are coming to life. As you can see by the little mound that I'm sitting on right here, we have the hyacinths in bloom, and it's starting to look very colorful. We're starting to see lots of buds. And today, Kristen and I are going to be putting in some things, and so let's go over to where we're going to be planting. So I'm sitting in front of a few plants that I'm going to put in today, and this is on the edge of our raised bed. It's very sloped here and very dry and gets a lot of sunlight. And this is basically like a rock garden over here. It's very dry, and we have a couple plants that are perfect for that. The first one, there's a pair of them here. One is peach colored and the other one's pink. It's called a Lewisia rainbow, and it is hardy to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. This one is as well as going to go in. This is called rock foil. Again, this is hardy to negative 20 degrees as well, and it's a slow growing ground cover that's perfect for this place. So we're going to put those two in, and they're going to accent what we have here already in this little new area that we're putting some things in. We have some sedums that are right here that'll flower later in the summer, and we got a little prickly pear that's growing right there. So let's get this in the ground. Okay, so there you go. So this rock foil that we put in the middle here, or Saxifaga, I'm expecting it to spread and grow down. It's blooming now, and you know, my wife and I had a conversation about the sedum swallowing it up. But I think that what's going to happen here, and I think this will look all right, is this rock foil will bloom now, and then be a nice little green mat here, and then the sedum will grow over it, because this sedum does grow longer and taller, and then this will bloom in late summer, and I think it'll look great here. So there you go.
So today I'm ready to plant out my first winter sowing container. I'm planting out the California wildflower mix, and there's a couple indications that I know that this is ready to go out in the garden. So first of all, they're up a couple of inches, and they have developed a set of true leaves, which is what you want. After the first set of leaves come out, the leaves that come after that are considered the true leaves, and that's when they're ready to go in the garden. And then also, because this is a clear container, I can see that all the way through the bottom, they have a really good root system. And it might still be a little bit early to plant these out, but I do have plastic cloches. If we get a really cold freeze, I can cover these guys and give them a little added protection. So I'm going to attempt to get these out of the container as smoothly as possible using a spatula. Let's see how it goes. So transplanting your seedlings is not for the faint of heart. The benefit of the hunk of seeds method is that it's okay if you end up losing a few seedlings in the process, versus if you only had maybe 2 or 3 plants and you ended up damaging one of those, then that would be a significant problem. But here, it's okay if you lose a few.
Okay, so one of the things we're going to try to do this year, which might end up being a total disaster, is we're going to try to grow something that we don't normally grow, and that is a little fruit plant. And we have a raspberry bush that we're going to try to put in. So I don't know a lot about raspberries, but I do know from watching a few videos and reading the tags on the label is that this particular raspberry bush likes to be in a well-draining place. Needs to have fertile soil, and it needs partial sun. So I thought that this would be a great place. We put a little berm in the back here. My intention back here is to grow some things that are tall enough that will block the view of the tool shed that we have in the backyard. So we've got some things that are going to be taller back here. A raspberry bush should get to be about 4 feet tall when it's done. So on top of the berm, I would think it would be about this high. And one of the things that we probably will have to do is get a trellis or stake up some of the long branches later in the year if it grows. So we'll see what happens. It's kind of exciting. Now, I do know one thing that you need to do with these, and when they do start growing, you got to keep them watered. Make sure that, of course, if you have a fast draining soil, that's a good thing. You don't want the water to pool on these. So, yeah, just keep, as a fruit was going to need a lot of water. So make sure that you're keeping it watered. I would say probably twice a week, make sure you're watering it.
So today we're also going to be planting 3 bare root perennials, and the first one I'm going to start with is a Cupid Veronicastrum. And as you can see here, I have 3 pieces, but I'm going to plant them all together. That could be 3 separate plants, but I'm going to plant them all together just because with bare roots you kind of run the risk of whether or not they're actually going to take, So I'm putting all three in the same spot so we are assured that we are at least going to have one good plant. So Cupid Veronicastrum gets up to 35 inches tall, and it's going to fit in nicely with our scheme back here to try to have tall plants that will block out some of the view of the tool shed. So next up we have an Asiatic lily. This is called an apricot fudge lily, and its bloom is really kind of unique, so I'm excited about this one. And it does get kind of an apricot with a little bit of brown undertones to it. And it's going in the area where we have a crepe myrtle that gets like hot pink to almost slightly purple blooms. We have a hot pink butterfly bush, and then we have yellow barberries. So this should be a nice complement. So this can get almost as big as roadside lilies. It can get up to 4 to 5 feet tall. So last up here we have the Sparkling Stars Pink Astrantia, and as you can see, this guy is ready to go. He's already got leaves growing on him, so that's really exciting. We should be really guaranteed a good, healthy plant here. So as I plant this here, I'm going to make sure that the little leaves are just sticking up right above the soil surface. I'm not going to make sure that these white parts of the stems are above the soil, but just the leaves, because that's how they'd be naturally waking up in the ground at this point. So there we go. This Sparkling Stars Astrantia will get up to 28 inches tall and should be perfect for this area.
Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about today is our 3 lungwort plants we have back here, or pulmonarias. If you remember, or if you watched the end of the year last year, I had my top 10 plants of the year and in our yard, and these pulmonarias were up there. They are already blooming. We have 3 of them back here. 2 of them are called Shrimps on the Barbie. They are these pink ones, and the one in the middle is called Trevi Fountain. And right now, as you can see, the flowers are blooming already, and they're going to bloom profusely for at least a month or more. And the wonderful thing about this plant, it has fantastic foliage. But even the best part about it is it gets a lot bigger. It will probably triple in size. So this will mound and spread out, and you can cut them back and they will come back again, but they look wonderful all summer into fall, and it is a great plant. And it's a stunner in spring because it is the flowers are really pretty, and pollinators love them too. All right, that's all for today. So thanks a lot for joining us. As you can see, the garden is coming alive, and we'll have a lot more updates coming up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We really appreciate that. And until next time, we'll see you in the garden.